Hello. There's some quests I missed, I noticed, that are like normal quests, not like the questless job or quests that I don't do. But yeah, found that out last night after I did the raids. I was like, what's this? Level 90? I got a level 99 Viper. That will do. Ah, Mistress Yo, you couldn't have appeared at a better time. You see, while out patrolling the city, I chanced to sight a voidsent. I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there jiggling, which is why, against my better judgment, I decided to capture it instead. Having traversed to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge of its denizens. If you have a moment, might I trouble you for your opinion on the creature's unusual behavior? I'm truly grateful. Now, if you would follow me, creature is being held in the hall of the Radiant Host. Uh, my dog just opens up my door now. Here it is. Surprisingly docile, even when I captured it, and there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Even so, it's the nature of a voidsent to prey on people for their ether. Perhaps it bides its time, waiting to carry out some manner of scheme. I remember you. Yes, you were at Troia. Please, you must help me. What do you need help with? Oh, you do understand me. I understand the mortal tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore. You can help me. Yes, you can. You can converse with the voidsent? Amazing. Could you ask it why it came here? When you and yours stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died. In time, I returned, but I was tired of fighting, so I fled, using the gate to your world. Having just been reborn, however, my essence hadn't fully gathered together and yet. And so, when I emerged from the gate, it was as several sundered selves. Frightened and confused, they scattered. Following their trail led me here, my diminutive size allowing me to remain largely unseen. But by the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless. That's why we consumed one another in the first place.
Together we were strong. I want you to help me find all of me so that I can be whole again. What do you intend to do in this world? Why, live here, of course. I've always wanted to. We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. We long to have that life again, but we need your help, starting by reuniting us. We won't try to devour anyone even when we're whole, I swear. Do you wish to learn more about the Void, yes? There is much we can teach you about those who rule its domains, about their past. Find the others and they'll teach you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain? So it crossed over to our world to escape conflict, and now searches for the rest of itself. I understand voidsent are quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact, and I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our research into their world. Very well. If you would be so kind as to search for its kin, I will consult my superiors on how best to deal with them. By that, I take it we have a bargain. Good, good. And I sense for others close by. When you find them, you need only point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, I can guide them the rest of the way. My thanks again for your help. If you could see the other voidsent back here, I will tend to the rest. Like me, the others have an interest in the lives of mortals. They are bound to be here, in this city. What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about powerful voidsent. I was still wanting to see this and that, but I suppose a deal's a deal. Those men over there, soldiers, are they? We used to have soldiers in our world too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria. Back from the Weaver's warding, are you? I hear you fought well against the voidsent that slipped through. Come now, I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation no matter the cost? Protect them, our nation. How familiar, those words. Where was it I heard them? Ah yes, it was the early days of Contra Memoria. The enemy had conjured a terrible eidolon that laid siege to a fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities, but led by their valiant commander, they fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Memoriate arrived. The commander told them, needed to hold out no matter the cost. A Memoriate did eventually arrive, but not soon enough for the soldiers. Having struck down the eidolon, the Memoriate and his servants searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead.
I'm gonna
wake up. But just when they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away the debris. To find the lone survivor, the garrison commander. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger. Your soldiers are slaughtered to a man, yet there's barely a scratch on you. What's the meaning of this? The Edion was savage but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath the fallen debris. Hide. As commander, you have a duty to your men. They were supposed to put their lives before your own. Spare me. My duty was to ensure the fortress stood, and it did. Besides, my death would achieve nothing. Honor be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that I must live. It isn't my fate to fall here. It isn't your fate, you say. Is he merely unconscious? Come, let us bury the soldiers and their commander with them. Fate shall decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. Very well, my lord. Funeral rites were later held for the fallen, but solemn tears quickly gave way to horrified screams as the body emerged from the earth. The commander, I can't die. I must live, the man said to have declared. The people thought him a demon, a devilish horror, muttering curses as he wandered off into regions unknown. Scamigolane, they called him. Scarmigolene, a name befitting his newfound grisly visage, a name befitting a monster. We thought we buried him deep, but a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're immortal, so I expect you understand that desire. Well, that concludes my tale. I had best rejoin myself, if you'll excuse me. Yeah. So this is where mortals consume aether. Dreading loneliness more than hunger, how very like me. If you don't mind, though, I'd like to observe the mortals a while longer. The food here is simply sublime. Why, I feel stronger with every bite, as if the Marga themselves were granting me their blessings. The food is tasty, that's true enough, but no food is so sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend. Stronger with every bite, every feed. For my part of the bargain, I will tell you about how we voidsent become strong. Simply put, it depends on the quality and quantity of ether we harbor. When the world was consumed with darkness, the heroes known as Memoriites arose as powerful voidsent. In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary voidsent like me. There were exceptions, of course, but one in particular I'll never forget. Scarmilgalone. Scarmilgalone. Never had I seen a voidsent so craven. Even when pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey only on those weaker than himself. He subsisted on scant leavings and lived in constant fear and hunger. In the face of danger, of voidsent stronger than himself, fleeing was the only option. But a day came when he found his way barred. How pitiful. Such overwhelming ether. Who is this? You fled instead of facing your foe. Why? Ah, this music brings me back. Holy shit. Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured. So, had you enough strength, you would have stirred your ground. Very well, then. What's happening? Yes, I feel it. The power swelling within me. Lo, your foe returns. What have you done to me? I granted you but a slither of ether. 'Twas with the power you already possessed that you defeated your foe. I possess such power? I fear had not clouded your eyes. Fear had clouded your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself from fear, then join me. You shall have a greater cause to live for than and know true power. Curious how, in a world without death, the fear of it could be the key to great strength. The knights recognized this, recognized voidsent's potential, and thus did he take him into his service. Determined as he is to live, it wouldn't surprise me if he were still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now. I expect from all the devouring he would have done since. Unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger in ours. Well, I must be going now. The others are waiting. I might have read that in reverse. I don't even know. Alright. Yeah. This is cool. It's like I get to experience the patches of, was it Endwalker? Again, in a weird way. Like the vibe of it. Ah, what a refreshing breeze. I'm to return to the others? Bah, they should come here. Would you look at this beautiful boundless sky? Mortals take the air from here, do they not? Would that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself. But while voidsent are not wont to roam, you see, the mightiest among us carve out domains, while the rest labor to stay in their good graces. Now the master of a domain seldom ventures outside. Master of a domain seldom ventures outside, for it is in one's territory that one is strongest. For some, however, such confident confinement proved trying, as was the case for a certain voidsent I know. New. It's early for me. Alright. It's cool though. I speak of the free-spirited terror, Barbacia. When she first established her domain, she willed away the days waiting for her minions to bring her prey. The aether amassed from these offerings was devoted to a singular pleasure of caring for her silky, flowing locks, but the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realized she was a prisoner of her own domain, and unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen into the depths of despair when the hand of salvation came to pull her out. At this rate, my precious hair will frizzle and fray, had I only the strength to leave my domain. If it is strength you desire, that is easily granted. Who are you? Ah, so much power surging through me. And what will you do with it? What is it you desire? What I desire is... You would move your very domain? Impressive. That I can do such a thing. What have you done to me? I granted you Aether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible. My will? Even so, no matter where you should go, there is naught but darkness. What could your destination possibly be? Destination? I have no need of such. I wish to be free, like the wind. In a world that has met its end, rare indeed is the soul who desires freedom so ardently that she could will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight would grant her more power and a place of common command in his mighty army. A story worthy of our bargain, I trust. I might have had to tell you not I I might have more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. It seems you mortals have a fondness for flying. I certainly like to try riding one of those airships of yours. But perhaps another time. My other selves will be a blubbering mess if I don't bury up and rejoin them. My other self grows lonely, you say. My apologies. It was my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness. But there's been some colorful language. The hell's with your father? You shouldn't need his permission just to leave the goddamn house. Please, mind your language. What would father say if he were to hear you? It's always father this, father that with you. I'm sick of it. You're your own woman now. Bloody act like it for once. For a change. Colorful language, yes. Not from the girl, though. Oh no, she appears to be quite well bred. I just hope she's happier than a girl I knew long, long ago. That girl was born into a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noblewoman and had servants tending to her every need, but in the end she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage. Wanting her to be a proper lady, her parents presided over all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to say and do. Chafing from the feathers of her restrictive life, she solicited her handmaiden's aid and stole outside the manor, where she enjoyed a moment of bliss unbeknownst to her parents, or so she thought. It was not long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and the windows, denying her even the simple pleasure of an afternoon breeze. Even a bird in a cage may chirp freely, but when she wasn't even suffered to give voice to her desires. But she wouldn't be deserted. Having once tasted sweet freedom, she yearned for more, and one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time. You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come. If you're expecting your friends, I'm afraid they're not coming. Father, what did you mean they're not coming? I had known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, but but to think that they dare try to consort with my daughter, well, you needn't worry about them anymore. They're food for the fishes now. How could you do this, Father? Why must you torment me so? Know your place, girl. You're a means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you sullying yourself with riffraff. Oh, shit. I like where this is going. You will not leave your chambers save with my permission, nor will you disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? I said, am I understood? To hell. What did you say? I said, go to hell. Oh, to think that it could be so exhilarating to speak my mind, to do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I am free. Free as the wind. That young woman struck out on her own, and her travels discovered her true calling, not in the halls of lords and ladies, but on the battlefield. She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty, which belied a terrible savagery. And with this new life she also claimed a new name, Barbacia. Barbacia. I remember that, boss. Indeed, she found her freedom, but she did also find happiness, I wonder. I suppose I'll never know, nor does it matter, for the world that once was is no more. Oh, but goodness me, I had better rejoin the others. One day I'll be back for you. It's not in here, it's in the one over. The voidsent are all present and accounted for, so long as they remain here. We needn't worry about panic amongst the townsfolk. Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreement. How did you come to know the archfiends? My other selves lived quite disparate lives, both as mortals and voidsent, though I suppose it's rather fortuitous that they crossed paths with such powerful voidsent. But more importantly, what they could offer was worthy of our bargain. For that I am glad. All that remains now is for us to rejoin and become whole again. Huh? Is this not all of me? There can be no other explanation. There is still one more of me lost out there somewhere, but I don't sense him. Where could they have gone? You mean there's more of them wandering about? By the sisters. At the very least, if what you say is true, they pose no threat to the people. Until the others can be found, we will keep 5 under our care. Should I sense the others nearby, I hope we can count on you to find them too. Interesting. Would you tell us of your recent ventures next time you return? I promise to make it worth your while. Be right back. 2 seconds. Okay. Let us continue the video. Huh. If it isn't Mistress Yo, since last we spoke, I have continued keeping an eye on the voidsent. While the creatures have given me no reason to believe that they pose a danger, the rest of them remain at large. My fellows and I have yet to come by eyewitnesses' information, but their forms being what they are, they cannot have gotten far. Of course, it would make our search easier if they were likewise drawn to Ratside Ham. My other selves have been telling me about their adventures. Truly, your world is a fascinating place. Your world's fascinating too. So you've enjoyed hearing my tales. I would be glad to share more of them with you. Once I've found the rest of me, that is. The others have more knowledge of mighty voidsent, you see. This sensation, could it be? Yes, I feel them. The rest of myself. They're very close now. There's 4 of them, and unless I'm mistaken, they're somewhere in the city. Please find them for me, that I might be whole again. As before, by way of payment, they will tell you about powerful voidsent and their past. Now, the nearest appears to be this way. Perhaps that's a good place to start. The rest of us, its fellows, have appeared in the city. Then you had best track them down. Judging by the direction, I expect the nearest one is in Dharma. I'll leave the creatures in your capable hands. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. save that one for last. The rest of me are here too? What a relief. I was taking in the sights in a village nearby when I realized I had become separated. I'm glad I decided to follow the clamor and head to this city. There are so many mortals here, so many beautiful buildings. Father, what is this building? Oh, it's a kid. This, my boy, is the resting place of great Azodal. Centuries ago, he journeyed here from the mainland and helped end the war between Mantaga tribes, an act which laid the foundation for the nation of Ratsahan. So it's thanks to him that we all get along. Ah, a tome, a place for mortals to remember the dead. It calls to mind people from my own past. My mother, who died in the Contra Memoria, and the others who laid her to rest. Long, long ago, there lived two powerful mages. It was said that none could match their might, yet they nevertheless continued to hone their skills as their training ground atop a peak called Mount Ordeals. One day, fell friends began attacking villages unprovoked. Upon hearing the grim tidings, the mages came to a resolution. Through years of training, we have mastered our flames. 'Tis time for us to employ them for the salvation of the world. So it was that the pair descended into the mountain and set about vanquishing the fiends. Just that one left. Leave it to me. No, don't. Please don't hurt her. Don't hurt my mother. Your mother? Please save her, I beg of you. What do I do? It seems I have no choice. What? She's turned into a crystal. I said that I would save the world, but I couldn't save a single life. flames were meant to be like the sun. They were meant to protect, to keep warm and light away. And yet, in this great fury of his failings, the mage's face turned red as a ruby. Thus did the girl choose to call him Rubicante. The mage returned to the mountain, where he buried his comrade. Upon the gravestone he etched words of admonishment and continued his training alone. One day, when visiting his comrade's grave, he found that a familiar crystal had been left there. Its presence lifted a great weight off his chest. Without words, it told him that the girl was grateful for what he did. That day, he regained something he had lost, and descending the mountain once more, he embarked upon a journey, determined to use his powers for good. As sad as it is to lose a precious life, it's sadder still, I think, to lose one's purpose. Mount Ordeals has been swallowed up by darkness, and his comrades grave with it. But wherever Rubicante may be, I like to believe that the little girl still remains in his heart. Well, it's past time I rejoin the others. It was nice talking to you, mortal. Wrong way. Right. What business does a mortal have with me? So the rest of me is safe? Thank goodness. It was worth risking myself to let the others escape. No sooner had we arrived in this world than we were attacked by fearsome creatures of stone. I drew their attention, and after scrambling hither and yon, managed to get myself to safety. But to so jealously guard treasure, you mortals must truly be fond of it. Lo, there's another place for storing it right here, there. They say it's mountain of treasure in there. We just need to find the coffers that act as portals, and then survive the guardian and deadly fiends. I don't like our chances with just the three of us. Less of us means a bigger share for each. Exactly. Besides, what's an adventure without a little danger? I'm really not sure about this. To willingly throw oneself into danger, it's truly a strange mortal quirk. Unlike your kind, we voidsent are quick to risk adverse. For instance, we wouldn't think to challenge a stronger being. Except for him, perhaps. An odd fellow who loved fighting for its own sake. His name was Gagnazo, and there was nothing he feared in his domain. Employing deception, he trapped his foes and drowned them in a bottomless mire. It mattered not how strong they all were, all fell before him. Yet, despite his victories, he never felt truly satisfied. and through a chance meeting he would learn the reason why. That you should repel my attack. You're stronger than I expected. To whom do I speak? I am Gagnazo, and I'll bet you're the one they say is seeking out the strong. Well, if it's a battle you want, well, then you need look no further. Lest you misunderstand, I do not desire fruitless battle. On the contrary, it would seem that it is you who seek out the strong. Why? When you're hungry and devour, it doesn't matter who. Your luck ran out when you strolled into my domain. None would risk so... bleh. None would so risk themselves simply because of an empty stomach. Nay, my friend, the source of your hunger lies elsewhere. Well, what is this ether? So pure and sublime. There's so much of it. I'm ripe to burst, and yet I still don't feel satisfied. Do you see? 'Tis not ether that you thirsts, but battle. You'll not quench this thirst with stagnant water, nay, not save that of a raging torrent will sate you. What do you mean? There is no joy to be had in ensnaring your quarry. For victory to have a savior, you must place yourself in the midst of danger. If you join me, I shall see to it you never want for dread foes to grant you satisfaction. What say you? Why do I feel as though I've remembered something important? Whoever you are, I would know more. And thus did he find a place to belong, upon the final line that divides the devourer and the devoured. Devoured. If he could do battle with just one worthy foe, he told himself, he could go to rest forever satisfied. From that day forth, Garganzo tirelessly sought out those who might be able to best him, each time hoping for bliss, but knowing that, like as not, disappointment ultimately awaited. A yearning so strong nothing else matters. Do you have such a thing driving you too, mortal? Looking back, it was extremely reckless of me to come to this world, but it has been worth every bit of danger and more. I can't wait to share my experiences with myself. I'll be on my way now. Thanks for coming to find me. Two more. You've been looking for me, you say? Sorry for the trouble. I found the place with beautiful water and thought I'd have a rollick, but ended up being washed away. I tried to get back upstream, swimming against the flow, and had managed to come this far when you appeared. After all that effort, I'd like nothing more than to reunite with my other selves. But if you've been promised a tale, then you shall have one. Nothing but small fry. See that mortal there? He fished me up, but promptly released me while calling me a hideous slug. I don't know what that was about, but it worked out well enough. To be out in the open sea and catch something big. But until I can afford a halfway decent rod, I'll just have to put up with this tired old fishing hole. I know you're feeling well. The desire to chase after big fish. I used to be a fisherman too, you see, together with my brother. But the Contra Memoria wreaked havoc on the ocean's ether, and nary any fish remained to be caught. Each morning we would wake up not knowing whether we'd have food to fill our bellies left. On a day like so many before, we were waiting in vain for a bite. My brother's face was fixed in a grimace, and I assumed he was cursing the war in his mind, but it turned out that he was thinking about something else altogether, and when he finally spoke, the frustration was plain in his voice. Even if there were fish to catch, is this how I'm going to live on out my days? Sitting endlessly with a pole in hand? It's like dying a slow death, and I can't take it anymore. More so than our privation, it was the mundane, unchanging nature of our lives that bothered him. In the next instant, he blurted out, "That's it. If there's a war, I'm gonna fight too. That way I won't be bored at least." And just like that, he threw aside his rod and set off, right into the thick of the conflict. Damn it. It's over. Who the hells are you? Whoever you are, I'm in your debt. Having exhausted my powers, I was all but defeated, but now none remain to oppose me here. Perhaps you could consider serving me. You would be well rewarded. Of course, I could grant you riches, castles. I knew it. What's the meaning of this? Aren't you a friend? Friend? I'm just after some excitement, so come on, give it to me. Huh. There you are. Thank the heavens. What were you thinking, taking on Memorites with your bare fists? However strong you may be, you're lucky to be alive. Alive? Yes, I've never felt so alive. Where are you going? No more chasing small fry for me. From now on, I'm gonna live for the thrill of battle. I'll seek out those stronger than me, and I'll give them a taste of my fist. Never have I felt so alive as I did, risking life and limb, he said as he strode away, never to return. Sometime afterwards, a rumor reached me of a fearsome warrior. The man would arrive unannounced on a battlefield, trounce anyone and everyone indiscriminately before disappearing again. Ganzanzo, he was called, and cursed by a feral dog. That was enough for me to know that my brother still lived. It was only when I became a voidsent that I came to understand my brother, to understand the emptiness he felt in the mundane life. It inspired me to break free from my own unchanging existence and instilled in me a longing for this world. And for all his quirks, he was as good and kind a brother, always looking out for me and helping me with my fishing. Like everyone, he must have turned into a voidsent. If he had the chance to come here, I believe he would have found a purpose in life, a proper one. Yeah. Thanks to you, I could relieve those old memories. And with that, I had best go and join my other selves. Be seeing you. What? Calling me, you say? I can appreciate my separation anxiety, but I answer to no one, not even myself. I am my own master. I do what I like, when I like. I will rejoin the others at my own leisurely pace. Mortals, on the other hand, always seem to be busy at work. Short as your lives are, one would think you'd spend more time on leisure. You're truly strange creatures. Still burning strong, just like the start of the experiment. By the sisters, by tending the flame is mind-numbing work. But tending the flame is mind-numbing work. Someone has to do it. I suppose but I just wish it wasn't me. Tending to the flame, that reminds me of a voidsent I once knew. He watched over a beacon of fire, seeing to it that it remained ever lit. Unlike that mortal, however, he did it of his own volition. Such an act revered no practical purpose in our world. Even if night and day existed, we voidsent don't rely upon light. Yet he persisted. Though perplexed by his curious rituals, someone found myself helping him with it. I somehow. Rubicante was his name, and he went about his task dutifully. Others mocked him for his meaningless act, but it must have held some manner of meaning to him, and so, when I chanced to find the beacon gutted out, I made certain to let him know. For the time out of mind, this routine continued uninterrupted until that fateful day. I see flames dancing in the distance. Who should I find tending it but a mage of considerable might? With such power, surely you can do more than keep a beacon lit. My flames serve not to smile others, nor to state my hunger. Then what purpose do they serve? I cannot say for certain, but to simply behold this flame somehow sets my heart at ease. I see. 'Twould seem you lack the power to comprehend the feelings engraved upon your soul, but such a lack is readily rectified. This warmth, invigorating and comforting, where have I felt it before? Of course, the sun, that which was once shone its light upon creation. Though it would set, never did it fail to rise again, and like the sun, my flames must never die. So that is the way of it. Through your flames you sought to recreate the sun's journey, to recreate the world as it was before. Who are you? Who could unearth memories buried in the deepest recesses of my heart? It matters not who I am, but what I seek to do. Join me, and together we shall banish the darkness and see the sun rise again. According to the mysterious night, the price to save the world was dear, the inhabitants of the neighboring reality must be sacrificed, to which Rubicante replied, I have sworn to use my power to save the world. If innocent souls must be consumed by my flames, then I shall bear responsibility for the sin. Thus did he choose his path of his own volition, and his spirit lives on in me as an undying flame. A world engulfed in darkness has become the norm for me, but since coming here and basking in the sun, I've been reminded of all that we had lost. I understand Rubicante better now. Understand why he was willing to sacrifice all this to restore the world to the way it was. To him, it was worth the price. Well, I must say, it felt great to take a squirm down memory lane. With that, I shall now return to the others, of my own volition, of course. You have found the last of the voidsent. Time to head back to the hole in the radiant hosts. One, two, three. Is that all of them then? You did it. You found all of me. I trust I upheld my part of the bargain and told you more about mighty voidsent. So you had already crossed paths with them. Though the tales may not help you in the battles ahead, I dare say they gave you something to think upon. As mortals, then voidsent, then archfiends, these troubled souls fought with all their being, and now their fight is over. Well, I myself have only heard the tales from others. If I'm to make their feelings my own, I need to become whole again, which I can now do thanks to you. So all of them are accounted for? Then by all means, let's have them return to the way they were. Without further ado then, to me myself. Oh. At last, we're whole again. There's nothing we need to fear. And that which each of us experienced since coming here, as if I've had experienced it all for myself. I say it again, but this world is truly a fascinating place. I must see more of it. Yes, I must. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but now that it's whole, I can't help but feel that it's more of a danger. Yet with the undersea portal destroyed, there's no way to return it once it came. Whatever should we do now? What's this I see? Oh, it's voidsent. There are a few of them in that direction. More of my brethren made it over, it seems. Curious, though. This is much farther than I can usually perceive. I can only assume my vision has improved. Could this be the accumulative effect of our experience here? What? It can sense its kind from a vast distance? Amazing. Such an ability would make the task of tracking down invading voidsent a breeze. If this creature would agree to assist us in this matter, I'm confident that I can convince my superiors to forge a pact with it. Oh, if it means I can remain in this world, then I'd gladly agree to that arrangement. Can't say how much I'm indebted to you, mortal. Working with this fellow here, I'll find a way to communicate with your kind and make myself useful. Thank you for everything. I will be on my best behavior until I've forged a pact. It's nothing short of a dream come true to be in this world. I'll do whatever is required to remain. With regards to communication, as the creature appears to understand our words, I believe I shall begin by teaching it letters. With some effort, I'm confident we'll be conversing ere long. Okay. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. It's at like an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah. It was fun finding a quest that I haven't done yet, you know. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.